Welcome to the Preeminence Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew J. Peters, founder of Ascend. Be sure to grab your ultimate guide to preeminence at preeminence.tv. Today we're talking about writing it down. So stay tuned, listen up, and get ready to take a focused action on your message, mission, and presence to create accelerated results starting right now. So today I was just going through some of the training at a mastermind I'm having with somebody who's been a longtime client of mine. And one of the things we talked about was like, what are all the projects you have going on? What are all the things that you're doing? And as we started talking about it, I realized this individual is doing so much. And we had to sit down and literally write it all down. If you want to be preeminent, someone like Brian Tracy, or Stephen Covey, they write everything down. They map it all out. If you don't do those things, it'll always be floating around your head, or you'll forget things, or you'll delay things that are important. You won't see opportunities that are right in front of you because you don't know exactly where you're at. So one of the things we did with this individual, as well as what we do with a lot of people who are authors and speakers, and people who are trainers, people who create massive amounts of content, people who want to create massive amounts of content, we have to have structure to it, especially when you have so many opportunities, so many partnerships, so many trainings and content you've created over the years. You really need to break it down. So what we did was we got a big sheet of paper. You can get these at Staples or Office Max, and what this paper has is literally about 24 inches by 36 inches, a large piece of paper, and you can stick it up on the wall, and it has like a sticky tape on the back. And so we started listing off all of the different assets they have. And so we were talking about assets. What are some of the assets you have? Well, we really broke it down into 5 different areas. Now I want you to write these down. One of the things that we found that they had was things that were evergreen that we could put in a store. So think about all the trainings, the books, the CDs, the music, the artwork, whatever it is you have that are tangible or digital that require no more of your work other than marketing of the thing that you're selling. Those are evergreen, meaning you could put them into a store and that doesn't require any more of your work. Okay? So you have your store. The second thing are your trainings and events. What are the things that you literally have to do live or leverage your time by producing that content every time you sell it? So for instance, you sell a group 8-week training, you've got to be the one that does it for now. So you have your trainings, let's say it's an 8-week training, a 3-day event, anything along those lines, put it in that bucket. So that's the second one. The third one is the marketing and channels. Think of all the different channels you have in social media. Think about the channels you have with the partnerships you have. Think of all the contacts you have, your network of people, and all of the marketing you have. Think of all the blog posts, all the podcasts, all the videos you created to market your things in the past. You've got to put that in some kind of bucket. You may not be able to sell it, but those things, those assets you've created can sell the other things that you have, like your things in your store or your trainings and events. And then you have truly passive things like investments. Do you have real estate, or anything that's coin operated? Or do you have income off of investments that are paper assets? Or whatever it is you have, dividends, things like that. What do you have as an asset that's going to be paying you monthly, quarterly, biannually, annually, all those things? And any organizations you own, do you have LLCs? Do you have any type of nonprofit organizations? What are those assets you have? You see, when you just have this giant bucket of all this stuff you're doing, what happens is a lot of times we leave things out. We don't realize our true value and what we're building over the course of a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Sometimes people have been creating 20 and 30 years of content. They're true masters of what they do. It's important for you to recognize what it is that you truly have of value and write it all down. Once you write it down, you can map it out. Your assignment on your road to preeminence is to write it all out. Get a big piece of paper, write it down, get it out of your head so it's no longer floating in the ether, and take action on things that are important.
This daily podcast is all about you becoming the preeminent voice in your marketplace. So take the consistent and necessary action each and every day on what you've learned over the last few minutes. When, not if, when you're ready to take your business, your organization, your name, your brand, and your commitment to the level of preeminence, head on over to preeminence.tv where you can download your own copy of the Ultimate Guide to Preeminence, enroll in the Elevation program, and join us on one of our next live events. If you're not subscribed, simply visit iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play right now and click subscribe. Until tomorrow, make today and each and every day count towards creating preeminence in your space and a legacy that matters.